Hello, welcome to the XpConnect overview and video. So let's start with, Qualified Digital. We are a digital consultancy heavily focused in the Adobe Experience Cloud solution space. Earlier this year, we acquired Expedient Digital that has deep expertise in life sciences. And with that, came a suite of products, and that's really what we're going to focus on in our conversation today. So the combination of Qualified and Expedient, really what that does is gives you a very hyper-specialized kind of company in the healthcare and life sciences. So if you can look at all the major brands, this is where we have our current projects. And from a practices perspective, Qualified Digital has a kind of a horizontal integration across disciplines. So starting with business strategy, experience design and creative technology, we have very deep experience in analytics and data strategy. And then of course, a marketing automation and CDB practice as well. Our journey optimization, orchestration practice, and our work management practices are new, but as you can see, we kind of span the whole Adobe Experience Cloud suite. We are also a gold partner with Adobe and a silver partner with Veeva. So the focus today really is going to be on our products, which is XpConnect and XpGenerator. And let me jump to kind of what the premise was when we started thinking about this, right? So if you think about the state of life sciences today, well, most of the challenges facing pharma and medtech, it's really very costly MLR reviews, right? The cost of compliance has always been very high, but because of the number of drugs in the market, it's now even increasing. The launches for new brands is still very slow. And the reason really behind that is because it's a very complex ecosystem, right? Most pharmas have many brands, and so there's just a whole slew of different agencies that are involved, and not only the brands that are siloed, but even within brands, different channels are also siloed. So whether it's the email channel, the website channel, or IVA, and then of course content velocity, right? It's not just for pharmas; it's for every industry today. Is really we have to get high content, quality content deployed across channels. So that was kind of the place where we started saying, okay, here's all the challenges. Like, how are we going to address that? And the opportunity, of course, was to create relevant content at scale, right? So, of course, you heard this before, right? Customer, right message, right moment, right channel. But then how do we make that happen, right? How do we give that precision, tailored interaction? How do we increase the speed to market? And then how do we increase the content reuse, the automation where possible, and reduce the overall content cost? And of course, we had to look at that, and we saw that integration was going to be key as well, between personal and non-personal selling systems as well. And so that was the backdrop, when we started thinking about the product. And the XpConnect solution really was to enable our clients to scale their content operations. So let's look at our products. XpGenerator, actually, we'll start with that, is a PDF generator that sits within Adobe AEM, and that helps you create PDF backups, but also MLR submissions. So think about instead of snagging and creating screenshots of your website with across many different viewports, even manually, this automates that whole process, right? And so what used to take days, even weeks sometimes, now takes minutes. So the cost reduction and the cost and the time taken is almost 90% reduced, right? And then the XpConnect platform is really the integration platform between AEM and Veeva. So it provides that bi-directional syncing not just between content, but also metadata. And so that's the, and you're going to see that in the demo. And XpConnect comes with XpGenerator in it to be able to create that PDF and push it to Veeva. The XP Omnichannel framework is really more of an accelerator pack. Think about that as a set of Adobe components and templates that allows you to now use AEM not just for websites, but for building IVAs or emails or banner ads or whatever other channel you might need, right? And that lets you create that and also gives you the ability to do modular content across channels. And then you will see that, in the demo as well. So from an architectural perspective, right, XpConnect, XpGenerator, and the framework sit, squarely between Adobe Experience Manager and Veeva PromoMats and Veeva CRM and now Vault CRM as well. So our philosophy was simple, right? Simplify the MarTech stack, right? Put the content author at the center of the solution, and then make that whole Adobe Veeva ecosystem kind of a very seamless integrated ecosystem, right? Then these were all the different layers. The modular content layer is the most recent. Of course, the authoring layer, the automation layer, the DAM layer, the integration layer, and then the reportings and analytics. So what we tried to do really, if you think back to the previous slide about all the problems, whether it was, single-use content or multiple content authoring systems for different channels, all the manual work, we tried to kind of solve all those problems, with the XpConnect platform. And with that, I'm going to share my screen back to Rohit, who's going to do the demo.
Thanks, Vasai. Let me share my screen and we can jump right into the demo. All right, so we're going to start with Veeva. We'll actually set up a content module in Veeva. We'll then look at those content modules in AEM. We'll actually use components from the content module to create experience fragments in AEM. And then we're going to use those experience fragments across channels. So we're going to use the experience fragment on a web page. We're going to use it in an email. We're going to use it on an IVA slide. And then we're going to send those composite assets back to Veeva for review and approval. So basically, we're going to look at the bidirectional flow that Kasai talked about, where we establish this integration between Veeva and AEM. So let's start off in Veeva. We're looking at the content module screen in Veeva. I've got a content module set up here. It's got 2 claims. It's got a couple of images that demonstrate those claims, and then it's got some reusable text objects. So now, if we toggle back to AEM, you can see that I've got my content module builder screen in AEM, which is provided through XpConnect. We're going to look at that same content module 12. And you'll see that this data for the content module is actually being retrieved into AEM from Veeva. So we've got an integration that does API calls to Veeva and gets all the data. So as you can see, the 2 claims have been retrieved, the 2 images have been retrieved, and then all of these reusable text objects have been retrieved. So now this content module, or the components of the content module, are available for use in AEM. So what I'm going to do is I've got this experience fragment template set up here. It's one asset with a claim. I'm going to grab this claim and I'm going to drop it into this template. I'm going to grab this image and drop it into this template. Now my template is populated. So the system's asking me, do I want to create this experience fragment object? So I'm going to say, yes, go ahead and create it. And I'm going to name the variant with today's date. And I'm going to say create. It's telling me, okay, I created this experience fragment, and here's where it's located. You can click on it, look at it. And what it's done is it's taken this claim and the image and it's put them together into my experience fragment template. So as you can see, we were able to consume the modular content that was set up in Veeva in AEM. now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this experience fragment and I'm going to use it across multiple channels. So let's start with the web channel first. Got this web page set up. Pretty standard web page. I'm going to edit it. And what I have down here is this experience fragment component. I'm going to go in there. And I'm going to go to the experience fragment that I just created, CM12. And here's our experience fragment with today's date. Let's select it, say OK, and there it is. It's now in my page. I'm going to preview it, make sure everything looks good. Yes, my experience fragment is populated. So that's how easy it is to take a content module from Veeva, consume it in AEM, and then use it across multiple channels. So this is the web page. Now what we can do is, if we can briefly look at XpGenerator and how do we send that web page back from AEM to Veeva. So I have an XpGenerator page set up here. As you can see, the page has multiple properties. I'm going to do an open properties real quick, and we'll look at some of those. So it's asking me where I want to grab the page from. So I'm going to say get it from my author server because I'm working on it. It's asking which page. So you can either have a single page path, or if you're working on multiple pages, like a section of the website, and you have a parent page and you have multiple child pages, you can set up a cascading page path where you specify the parent, and then XpGenerator will actually walk the hierarchy and get that parent page and any child pages and combine them together into one PDF. So it's ready for your MLR submission. We've got some other options like Stamper and Output To. You can output to, by default, it goes to the AEM DAM, but we also have the capability to send it to other locations like a file server or an SFTP location. You can have multiple renditions, multiple viewports. So in this case, we've specified 2, desktop and mobile. There's several other options like margins on the top and bottom and sides, so that you can have wider side margins if you want. So you're able to go into the PDF once it's generated and add things like comments or callouts before you submit it for MLR review. XpGenerator also has the capability to do more complex things like JavaScript commands. So if you have an accordion and you want to show that accordion expanded out, you can do that so that your MLR reviewers are able to see all the content that's within all sections of that accordion. Or if you have menus that need to be expanded out when you take the PDF screenshot, XpGenerator can do that as well. So whatever can be achieved through JS, you can specify those JS commands down here, and XpGenerator will actually execute those before it takes a screenshot of the page. So now that our page is set up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick off XpGenerator, which you do by just clicking on this PDF icon up top, asks you if you want to run the workflow. You say yes, and that's it. So XpGenerator is fully integrated into AEM, so your AEM authors don't have to learn any new tool or anything like that. All they do is they set up the page, they click that button, invoke the workflow, and XpGenerator is up and running. So when it runs, it actually sends the PDF to this location. So we're going to go look at that location now. And we should see the PDF appear here shortly. So while that's happening, while XpGenerator is generating the PDF, the process to send it over is really easy. All you have to do is select the PDF that you want to send over, and then you'll see an XpConnect menu option show up here on your AEM menu. All you do is click on that XpConnect menu option, send to Veeva Vault, and then it's going to ask you which workflow you want to use. In a production environment, you'll typically only have one workflow set up because you're only communicating with your production vault, and that will be pre-populated in here. So you just click on Start Workflow, and that will start sending the object over to Vault. So while that's happening, let's go back to our channels. And what I'm going to do next is we're actually going to look at taking that experience fragment that we had generated earlier from the Veeva modular content, and we're actually going to add it into two other channels. So we're going to add it to an email, and we're going to add it into an IVA. So I've got an email set up here. Edit it. So it's a pretty standard email. It's addressed to a recipient up top. It's got some content in there. It's got ISI down at the bottom. So I'm going to edit my email. And I actually have room down here for an experience fragment. So that's where I'm going to insert that experience fragment that we created earlier. So back to my demo vault. We're going to go back to 12. Select our experience fragment and say OK. And you'll see that the experience fragment is populated down here. Again, the styling is applied based on the channel that you're inserting the experience fragment into. So you can definitely have an experience fragment that you're styling one way for the web, another way for email. That's definitely possible using styling that's applied based on the channel that's being inserted into. So we run through our email, make sure everything looks good. And then once you're ready to send this email across, we've again got the XpConnect option up here. You click on it, you go send to Vault. It's going to ask you what Vault you want to send it to, and you start the workflow. So now my email is on the way over. So while my email is going over, let's go back to our Sites menu, and we'll go to IVAs. I have this IVA set up. It's got the presentation object. It's got all my slides in there. I'm going to pick one of these slides, edit it. And we're going to do the same thing here as well. So this is our third channel. We looked at a web page. We looked at an email, and this IVA is our third channel. Again, I've got my experience fragment object here. Click on it, do the same thing, navigate back to my experience fragment. Select it, say OK. And now my experience fragment has been inserted into the IVA slide. So I make sure everything looks good with the slide. It's ready to send over, and it's the same process again. So I click on the XpConnect menu option, do a send to Vault, pick my workflow, and say start. And now my IVA slide is on the way over from AEM to Vault. Now, if I didn't want to send just that slide, I wanted to send the entire IVA, you can do that as well. So the way you do that is instead of selecting this one slide, you'd actually select the IVA presentation. When you select the IVA presentation, you'll notice that this XpConnect menu option is available again. So you're going to click on it, do a send to Vault, same process again. But in this case, it's going to send the entire IVA. So it'll send all the slides that are contained within this IVA, all of these slides. It's going to send this presentation object, and then it's going to associate all the slides with this presentation object in the same order that you see them here. So if you set them up to be in this order in AEM, that's the order they're going to show up in Vault. Now, when we send these over, not only do we include the objects themselves, so the presentation and the slides, all of the metadata is included with those as well. And the distribution packages are contained within each slide, which have the full HTML and all the supporting objects. So not only are your MLR reviewers able to see all these and review and approve them in Vault, but once that approval is done, these also flow through to CRM and then the iPad app. So your reps are actually able to use this IVA in the field. So it's not just for review and approval. It's also for actual consumption out in the field. All right, so now let's go back here. Refresh this. And as you can see, it says 2 minutes ago. This is where our web page was generated using XP Generator. So now I'm going to select this, and I'm going to say XpConnect, send to Vault. I'm going to pick my workflow again and do a start. And now my web page is on its way over to Vault. All right, so as you can see so far, we've consumed a piece of modular content from Veeva in AEM. We've generated an experience fragment from it. We've then used that experience fragment across 3 channels: on a web page, in an email, and in an IVA slide. So now let's toggle back to Vault, go to our library. So as we can see, we've got our email that's shown up. Here's my template, here's my fragment. We've got our multi-channel slide, the one we modified, that's shown up, and then our web page has shown up as well. So let's look at the email template first. So there's our email template that we sent across. As you can see, the template is sent over, all of the metadata for it is sent over, and the assets.zip file that's required for that email for CRM is sent over as well. So we send a complete package that is available in Veeva for consumption. Next, we can look at the multi-channel slide. There's our multi-channel slide. So again, the object itself, the PDF itself, all of the metadata, and then the distribution package, all of that is sent over. And then lastly, let's look at our PDF that we sent over for the web page. So here's our web page. It includes the experience fragment that we inserted in the web page. It also includes the different renditions that we sent across, and then it also includes all the metadata that's sent. All right, so I think that's what I wanted to show today. The bidirectional integration using XpConnect, and then also the capability of generating a PDF using XpGenerator. I'm going to hand it back to Kasai now.
Thanks, Rohit. I hope everybody got a good sense of what XpConnect and XpGenerator can do, for your content lifecycle. And if there are any questions, please reach out to us at Qualified Digital. Thank you.